I have a crazy theory, not so crazy if you think about it, and especially if you know the lost truth, if you've gone through my programs. And I want to talk about this today with you and address the topic of why we grow old and the real spiritual and energetic reason no one talks about. So, my theory is that we grow old and die because we get tired of our false identity. This lack of synchronicity between our true self, what's inside, who we truly are, and how we express ourselves in the world, this delta is so big and it's taxing. It's taxing for our body, physical body, energy body. So it's just the reason why we physically exhaust ourselves. We grow old because we subconsciously, without even realizing it, we get tired of all the illusions that we live in, of this false identity that we live through. We get tired of this, not being who we truly are, not expressing who we truly are. We get tired of the suffering and problems that this false identity that we're carrying creates for us. We get tired of this unconscious creation of reality that is very, tricky and tiring, truly, because when we don't know who we are, when we automatically let our reality get created and we are not an active conscious creator of it, then this default reality that gets created, it's chaos, it's suffering, it's conflict, and we simply subconsciously get tired of living in such environment. So, my theory, the last truth teachings theory of why we grow old and die, is because we simply cannot live longer in our false identity. So, if we were to realize who we are and express who we truly are, so that our true self matches how we live and how we express ourselves, we wouldn't feel so miserable. We wouldn't get tired of living, and we wouldn't grow old that quick. We wouldn't die that quick or at all, because theoretically our body is capable of regenerating everything, um, basically continuously, right? Because we know that all the cells of our body constantly regenerate. And some cells take years to regenerate, and some cells take minutes and days to regenerate. But there's simply no single cell in your body now that is the same cell that you had when you were just born or when you were a child, if you are an adult. So we are constantly recreating ourselves and we are regenerating ourselves. So we could potentially do that indefinitely. But I believe we just don't want to. I believe we simply don't want to keep living the lie. We don't want to keep living in this environment of this chaos, problems, conflicts, where we need to fight daily, where we need to suffer, struggle, compete, be in conflict. This is just, hell on earth. And regardless of how many achievements we have, regardless of how successful we are based on social standards and social definitions, I think that if we were to realize who we truly are and start expressing ourselves as the creator, then our physical body would live much, 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 much longer, probably indefinitely. And perhaps, now I'm speculating, but I'll say it anyway, perhaps those myths and those kind of legends about, I don't know, Atlantis and ancient times and ancient civilizations where people lived for hundreds of years. And for example, we have all these also data of how certain maybe Egyptian kings and queens lived for like hundreds of years and so on. Maybe people did live much longer before, maybe because they were in this synchronicity with who they truly are. Maybe they simply knew the truth. As it's speculated now about this mythological Atlantis kingdom, right, where people lived in harmony, knew who they are, and they didn't have issues and problems like we have now. So that's possible that people in that environment would live much longer or indefinitely. That's my theory. That's interesting, and I think it's worth trying to to prove it right. I think it's worth checking whether it's true or not. I think we all should start living and expressing ourselves as the creator, and then we are not bombarding our physical body and our energy body with all this illusionary traumas, illusionary limiting beliefs, illusionary problems, artificially created and self-prescribed difficult life lessons, and all that chaos that inevitably follows us and gets created by default when we are asleep as the creator of our reality.